Yeah, Georgetown is a very physical team. They're going to be big. They're long. They're the second best offensive rebounding team in our league. They also shoot the ball really, really well from three. They're the number one three-point shooting percentage team in our league. They got the big kid Coacah Wahab, who's a sophomore. Man, he's much improved from last year. They're going to play through him a lot. They're going to roll him to the rim. He's 6'11", and then they surround him with a bunch of guys that can make shots. And whether it's Javon, Blair, Jamarco, Pickett, Belay, they got a lot of guys out there on the floor that can really, really, really shoot the ball. So we got to have that same urgency that we had against Creighton as far as defending the three. Being there on the catch. It's going to be a little bit different how they run their offense and how Georgetown runs their offense and what Creighton does. But it's going to be the same kind of theory of, hey, we got to keep them off the three-point line. We got to limit them to one shot and one shot only. I think Coach Ewing's doing a great job. They've had obviously a lot of pauses as well this year, and I think he has them playing their best basketball of the year right now at the right time. They've won 3 of 4 games. They've won at Creighton. They beat Seton Hall recently, who I have a lot of respect for as well. They beat Butler. So they've beaten some really good teams here as of late, and he's got them playing really well. So we know we got our hands full, and we're excited to play tomorrow night.
Hey, Travis, it seems like the most important thing you guys can do is to find a way to get the team that showed up on Saturday to keep showing up. And I'm curious how you go about doing that.
Yeah, I think it's keeping the chemistry right, Adam. It's at this point in the season, it's more about your mental than probably it is your physical, right? Again, you want to be healthy, right? I mean, we'd love to have Nate Johnson out there, but it is about just making sure our guys have the right mindset and the togetherness that we need, the energy that we have to play with, and then we got to be able to handle adversity. I was like, listen, like we saw a few shots go in against Creighton early, right? That helps. Just being very transparent. I mean, I think it gives you a sense of joy. It makes you even play even harder. It takes you to that next level, that next step. We didn't see much go in against Providence or Butler, or St. John's, even for that matter. You look at how we shot the ball during those games. So I thought our togetherness was a lot better. You could just tell everybody was on board. I thought we had positive contributions from everybody on our team, everybody that played, even guys that didn't play were into the game on the bench. Guys like Nate, Daniel, Deontay, those guys were into it. So we got to have that same mentality going into Georgetown, and we have to play towards our identity. And I thought we did that. I thought we were the tougher team against Creighton. I thought we came up with dang near every loose ball. We were fighting. Creighton's obviously a prolific offensive team. I thought we made them earn every single one of their points for the most part. So you're right. That's the biggest challenge. You can't have a letdown because I think the natural, mature teams, you win a big game against Creighton. All right, it's the next game. And I moved on very, very quickly. Obviously happy for our guys who beat Creighton, but listen, it's about the next one. You should want more. You don't become complacent and satisfied and take your foot off the pedal, man. You got to press that thing all the way down to the ground.
Next question, Tim.
Travis, you kind of mentioned the wins Georgetown has. They're certainly better than their 8-11 record shows. And one of the things to their advantage is certainly, they have a lot of upperclassmen. Even with the turnover they've had, they're pretty experienced. At this point in the year, with your team kind of trying to put this run together, these final touches on your NCAA resume, how important and how dangerous is it to make a team like Georgetown?
I think they're good. I told Dante Jackson has the scout versus Georgetown, and I said, man, they are way better than their record. And they're way better than their numbers. They're playing well. They're playing really well. We're going to have to play very well to win the game. So it's a dangerous game. We've told our guys that. I said, do not look at their record. It's very misleading who they are because they're playing way better than that. Again, it's a great opportunity to get a road win. and it's a great opportunity for us to continue to get better. We need everybody to step up, and we played 3 freshmen significant minutes against Creighton, and I think you're going to continue to see that trend for us because I think all 3 young men can really impact our team in a positive way and have, right? You talk about the experience level that Georgetown has, right? And because they do have some older guys. And they're good players, and they've been through a lot of wars. Well, we got some youth that I think those guys are really excited, right, to play. So I think it could kind of go either way. It's kind of funny. Some of the older guys are like, man, I've kind of been through this. There's not fans here this year. It's kind of weird. Whereas guys like DeJuan, Colby, and CJ are just kind of like, hey, you know what? This is all they know right now. This is the only season they've had in college basketball. So I think that could be an advantage a little bit. But I do think, and I was proud of our bench last game, they were much better on the defensive end. Much. Significant. And I recognize, obviously, we need our shooting and scoring off the bench, right? And because losing a guy like Nate was a terrific shooter. Everybody knew that. But Nate was probably our best defender as well. And so we need guys to step up. And I thought Adam Kunkel stepped up in a big way. I thought C.J. Wilcher stepped up in a big way. I thought Kiki Tandy stepped up in a big way, not just on the offensive end, but the defensive end. And the more guys we can play, the more togetherness we have, right? And I think that's critically important. And we need that here finishing down the stretch. In order for us to get a win at Georgetown, we're going to need all those guys to play to their potential and their capabilities.
Next question, Adam.
Coach, in terms of Georgetown's style, how they like to play, are they more deliberate on the offensive end? Do they like to take their time? And then what can we expect to see from them defensively in this game?
Yes, so they'll be the third fastest pace in our league as far as overall pace of play in their games. So they'll be a little bit up tempo. They're not gonna. It's funny, like you look at the pace numbers, Adam. Like you'll look at Ken Pomeroy, which again I love Ken Pom. Creighton pushes it probably as fast or faster than anybody in our league, right? Off a made shot and a missed shot. So does St. John's. St. John's plays at a incredibly fast pace. Georgetown, their pace is going to look like it's faster than Creighton. It's probably not quite as fast as Creighton, though, when you watch it on film. But they play fast, though. They want to get up and down. And then defensively, they're going to be 95% man. They'll do a little bit of 2-2-1 zone press. And they'll mix in 2-3 zone for maybe 2 to 3 possessions a game. But they're a man-to-man defensive team. They got shot blockers around the rim. Quadis Wahab, 6'11". Jamarco Pickett, they play him at the 3. He's 6'9". Belay is their 4-man. He's 6'8". So they're big and long along their front line. And I think they do a pretty good job of protecting the rim. And we got to use that to our advantage. Our guys got to be able to land on 2 when they drive it and drop off or kick out for 3s and be ready to shoot the ball. Got to get the ball reversed. I mean, I keep on saying that. That's a big theme for us right now. The more we get ball reversals, the better our offense is.
Go ahead, Adam.
Travis, if you think about your own career in college basketball, it really started as a manager at Butler. And, you guys just celebrated senior day, and you obviously got to honor those senior managers. And how much of a kinship do you feel with those guys? When you look at them, do you look back and see yourself way back when and think about, how those years and doing that job kind of influenced and impacted the rest of your career?
Absolutely. I would say first and foremost, Adam, again, we're so appreciative of what those guys have done for our program, right? And I think a lot of people probably don't realize how many hours they put in. I mean, they're here before practice, help setting up. They're here during practice. Then they're here after practice as well. And then if our guys, text them or call them to get extra shots up, then they'll be back here at night as well. I mean, they're here all the time. They help us cut up film. They help us in practice. Again, we're extremely appreciative. And we had 4 senior managers that have all impacted our program in a big way. And obviously, I'm glad you asked that question, Adam, because a lot of times guys think always of the players, right? It's easy to do. You know, Paul's been great here, Jason, Brian, and Nate, but our 4 senior managers are awesome, and they're going to do terrific things in life, no matter what they want to do, whether it's coaching or whether it's they want to get into the business world or whatever it is. Man, they are prepared for life. So, you know, I'm just very grateful for what they've done, and I feel I try to spend as much time with those guys as I do our players, quite honestly, because again, I think they can sometimes be forgotten in a lot of ways. But again, I know this: our program would not run at nearly the rate it does without those guys, right? So when we were back earlier in the summer, right, we were going through all this COVID-19 protocols at the very beginning when we got our guys back here. We didn't have any student managers around, right? And you're starting to realize left and right, like, man, like, my God, how much they do. And again, they don't get paid. They don't get any money. They do it because they love our program. They love basketball, and they love to serve. You know, the staff. They serve the players. They love to help. They give, and anything we can do to help those guys moving forward, obviously, man, I would do anything for those guys.
Adam?
You know, when you woke up this morning, it was March, and I was wondering why do you think that this is such a great month? Why is this the best month of the year, in your opinion?
Well, not when I woke up this morning. I was still up last night, you know, when it turned midnight. And I started seeing, you know, John Rothstein, "This is March" tweet, you know, that he loves sending out every March. He was ready for it. You know, it's where memories are created, right? I mean, this is it's what we all work for. I mean, all year. I mean, I go back to even some years in college basketball where maybe things didn't go your way that particular season. Well, your season starts the next day for that next year. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. They think, hey, it maybe starts bad in the summer. No, it starts the next day. You know, just formulating your team, the amount of mornings you get up early, the late nights, the long practices, the travel. Man, the process starts right away, but this is what you work for these opportunities. And, you know, even when things don't go the way that maybe you wanted it to, maybe in February or maybe in January, you still can write your own story, right? You still control your own narrative. And how you finish in March, man, that's what everybody remembers. Right, I'll never forget when back in, got to get all these years mixed up now. I know Trayvon and JP and those guys, Sean O'Mara, I think they were juniors, I believe. I think they were juniors. Yeah, juniors. We went 0 for the month of February. Man, like, you know, Edmund had gone down with his injury, and we couldn't win a game. And all of a sudden, we had to go to the Big East tournament, and we had to beat DePaul in the first night. We didn't get a bye. And we barely we squeaked by them. And then we beat Butler, who was, I think, the 3 seed that year, in the next round. And we had to win both those games just to get in the tournament. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, right, we're in the Elite Eight out in San Jose playing for a chance to go to a Final Four. And it's like, man, how does a season go so quickly from it could have went one way and it went the complete opposite way, though. We finished, and that's all everybody talked about. Say, hey, man, what all the memories we had of going to an Elite Eight, beating Arizona in the Sweet 16 game. This is where it's created, right in here in this month. And I just want our guys to be excited. I mean, it's fun for fans, too. I know as growing up, man, this is what you watch. My mom and dad would pull me out of school, and they'd let me I'd be able to watch all the games all day long. I mean, this is an awesome time of the year. So we're just excited to be a part of it, and we get to control our own story. We get to write our own story here for Team 99.
Tim?
Travis, for a guy for Georgetown, like Javon Blair, who obviously you've seen quite a bit of, he's a senior, he's experienced, he's their leading scorer, putting up 16 a game. He's getting a lot of shots. How do you game plan for a guy like that? Is this a typical thing where you're just going to throw Paul at him and that's your matchup, or will you throw multiple guys at him and try to get the ball out of his hands? What is kind of the expectations for how we should watch you guys play against Blair?
Yeah, I think hopefully we make things difficult on him. He is a very creative scorer. He's leading the Big East and made three-point field goal attempts. I mean, he can really shoot the ball off the dribble, off the catch, on the move. So he's difficult to prepare for. Like you said, he does it in a lot of different ways, and Coach Ewing does a good job moving him around on the floor. I think we're going to put different guys on him, Tim. I think you'll see Paul Scruggs on him a lot. I think you'll see Dewan Odom on him a lot. Probably one of those two guys. They're going to have to chase him around. But it's not just their job, right? It's a team effort. Whether it's our ball screen defense, our bigs got to do a good job of being disruptive. Whether it's coming off a stagger or we got to give help to Paul and Dewan and those guys that are chasing. So we're going to have our hands full with Javon. He's a tremendous player. I can't wait till he's gone, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of playing against him.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.